Kick-Ass Facts, Part 2 of I'm Gonna Ruin Your Childhood by telling you where nursery rhymes came from. Pew, 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 pew! Georgie Porgy. Some believe that Georgie Porgy, pudding and pie, was actually Georges Villiers, the first Duke of Buckingham. The Duke had a long and lucrative affair with James I, while also seducing many of the ladies of the court. After kissing them and making them cry, he ran to the king for protection to avoid the inevitable duels that would have followed. Meanwhile, James I continued to bestow court appointments upon him, increasing his power and influence. The king even dissolved Parliament twice to keep them from impeaching Villiers. Eventually, he was assassinated by political rivals. Humpty Dumpty. In the nursery rhyme, nowhere does it say that he was an egg. However, he is often presented as such in stories and in pictures. The version of the rhyme that most of us learned was Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall, Humpty Dumpty had a great fall. All the king's horses and all the king's men couldn't put Humpty together again. But the first known publication in 1797 had different last lines. 80 men and 80 more could not make Humpty Dumpty what he was before. According to the Oxford English Dictionary, Humpty Dumpty was first used in the 17th century and referred to brandy boiled with ale. In the 1700s, it was also a term used to describe a short, clumsy person, and it has also been the nickname attributed to someone who has had too much alcohol. It is most likely that the nursery rhyme was intended as a riddle, the answer to the riddle, an egg, something that, if rolled off a wall, could not be mended by any number of people, although there are other theories as well. This old man also has two theories. Most say this old man refers to the influx of Irish beggars going door to door in England after the famine, either to sell knickknacks or to play a rhythm called knickknacks using spoons in the hopes of getting some change. The paddywhack is a derogatory term for hitting an Irish person, and the old man rolling home alludes to the use of caravans or the old man using his money from those lucrative knickknacks to get boozed up. The other theory is that it was about old men who were inappropriate with young kids, and parents would sing this to their children to warn them about lecherous old men. Three Blind Mice. This one dates back to 1609, and it's a lovely little tale about England's sociopath, Queen Mary I, who got the nickname Bloody Mary because she burned 284 Protestants at the stake. The three blind mice in the story are supposedly the Oxford martyrs, three Anglican bishops who refused to renounce their Protestant beliefs and were executed by Mary for blindly following Protestant learnings instead of the Catholic ones. Guess what? Mary, Mary, Quite Contrary is also about Queen Mary I. Mary, Mary, Quite Contrary refers to Mary's contrarian decision to reverse her half-brother Edward VI's Protestant reign and restore Roman Catholicism to England. The second line, How Does Your Garden Grow, is most often thought to be about Protestant graveyards growing after her killing spree. Silver bells and cockle shells are likely both torture devices, and Pretty Maids All in a Row refers to one of two things, either the offing of Lady Jane Grey or miscarriages. Here we go around the mulberry bush. According to a book by a former prison governor, this is just your standard feel-good nursery rhyme about Wakefield Prison, also called Monster Mansion, and the mulberry tree is its exercise yard used by women prisoners. Old Mother Hubbard. It was a time when King Henry VIII ruled England, and Cardinal Thomas Wolsey, served as Lord Chancellor, was the most important and influential statesman of his kingdom. After 16 years of marriage to Catherine of Aragon, the king still had no heir to the throne and wanted a divorce. The Pope needed to grant permission for the divorce, and it was the cardinal's job to go get it. He failed, lost his power, was arrested, and died in prison. The Old Mother Hubbard is the cardinal, the doggy is King Henry VIII, and the bone is the divorce he wished to have, and the cupboard refers to the Catholic Church. If you don't remember, Old Mother Hubbard, Old Mother Hubbard went to the cupboard to give her poor dog a bone. When she came there, the cupboard was bare and the poor dog had none. Pop Goes the Weasel is a saying made up of Cockney slang to mean something along the lines of pawning a suit. Essentially what the song is implying is that when a poor man needed to dress up for Sunday, he would pawn his suit earlier in the week for cash and then take it back temporarily on Sunday morning for church. And finally, Hush Little Baby. A parent sings to their child, trying to bribe them into going to sleep. Mama's gonna buy you a mockingbird, a diamond ring, a looking glass, and on and on. In the final lines, they're so desperate to keep this baby asleep, it suggests the mother would see the baby's death as a blessing, as they would become the sweetest little baby in town. Mama's gonna buy you a horse and cart, and if that horse and cart fall down, you'll be the sweetest little baby in town.